Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving into a really cool area of English today, one that I think you're really going to enjoy.
I think so too, and it's something that I think everyone can relate to in one way or another.
Exactly. So today we're going to be talking all about animals and pets and how you can use this topic to really level up your English skills.
It's such a great way to learn because it's something that you can talk about with pretty much anyone you know, from your next door neighbor to someone you meet on the other side of the world.
Yeah, like I was at the dog park the other day and ended up having this really interesting conversation with someone I'd never met before, all because our dogs started playing together.
It's amazing how animals can break down those barriers and create those instant connections.
Right. And it's not just about making small talk either. Like talking about animals can actually help you learn so much about different cultures and perspectives.
Absolutely. For instance, did you know that in some cultures, certain animals are considered sacred or have symbolic meanings that you might not even be aware of?
Oh yeah, like in Japan, cranes are seen as symbols of good luck and longevity, right?
That's a great example. And learning about these cultural nuances can not only make you a more interesting conversationalist, but also a more sensitive and understanding one.
So we've got connecting with people, checking cultural insights. What else makes this topic so good for learning English?
Well, think about all the amazing vocabulary you can pick up. You've got everything from the basic terms like breed and habitat to more descriptive words like majestic or ferocious.
And don't forget about those fun collective nouns like a parliament of owls or a murder of crows. Those always make me smile.
Oh, those are great. They add such a richness to the language. And it's not just about the individual words either. It's about learning how to put them together into phrases and sentences that really capture the essence of the animal world.
So true. Like instead of just saying, my cat is lazy, you could say something like, my cat is a real couch potato. It just adds that extra layer of personality and humor.
Exactly. And as you get more comfortable with the language, you can start to explore those more nuanced expressions like idioms and metaphors that are related to animals.
Like busy as a bee or sly as a fox. Those are classics.
They are. And they're used all the time in everyday English, so learning them can really help you sound more natural and fluent.
Okay, so we've talked about all the reasons why learning animal English is so awesome, but now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How do we actually go about doing it?
One great place to start is with the material that our listener has sent in English for Pet Lovers, talking about animals. This guide looks super helpful.
It does, and what I like about it is that it seems to strike a good balance between the basics and those more in-depth concepts, so it's perfect for learners at all levels.
Right. And it covers a wide range of topics, too, from describing animal appearances and behaviors to understanding different habitats and even recognizing those subtle differences in animal sounds across languages.
Wait, differences in animal sounds. Tell me more about that.
Sure. So you know how dogs bark in English is whoo, right? Well, in Spanish, it's wow, and in French, it's woof. It's fascinating how these seemingly simple sounds can vary so much from one language to another.
Wow, that is cool. So it's like learning about animals opens up this whole new world of linguistic diversity, too.
It really does. And that's what makes this topic so enriching. It's not just about learning new words, but also about gaining a deeper appreciation for the interconnectedness of language culture and the natural world.
I love that. So are you ready to take a closer look at this guide and see what kind of treasures we can uncover?
I'm definitely ready. Let's dive in.
All right, so we've got our guide here, English for Pet Lovers, and it looks like it's packed with all sorts of useful stuff.
Yeah, it seems to be really well organized, too. Like, starts with the basics, the different types of animals and their body parts.
Oh, yeah, like I remember when I was first learning English, I always got leg and paw mixed up. It was so confusing.
I can imagine. It's those little details that can really trip you up.
And this guide actually addresses that it has a whole section on common mistakes to avoid, which is super helpful.
I'm looking at that section now, and it even covers things like the gender pronouns for animals.
Yeah.
Using it for most animals, unless you know their specific gender.
Oh, yeah, that's a tricky one. I still sometimes catch myself saying he or she when I should be saying it.
It's definitely something to be mindful of, and this guide does a good job of explaining those nuances.
So, okay, we've got the basics covered. What about actually putting those new words and phrases into practice?
Well, that's where the exercises come in. This guide has a ton of them, and they're all designed to help you use animal English in real-life situations.
Like what kind of situations are we talking about?
Well, for example, one exercise asks you to describe your pet to a friend. Imagine you're at a party and someone asks you about your furry companion.
Oh, I can totally see that happening. And I bet it would be way more fun to say something like, my dog is a total goofball who loves chasing squirrels, than just, my dog is brown and white.
Exactly. It's about using those descriptive words and phrases to really bring your pet to life.
And the guide provides sample answers too, right? So you can see how to structure those sentences and use the vocabulary correctly.
Yep. It's like having a little script to follow until you feel more confident speaking off the cuff.
So we've got vocabulary exercises. What else?
Well, there's also a section on animal behavior, which I think is really interesting.
Oh, yeah, like learning words like nocturnal for animals that are active at night, or migratory for animals that travel long distances.
And the cool thing is learning these words often goes hand in hand with learning about fascinating animal facts.
Oh, like what kind of facts?
Well, for instance, did you know that a group of owls is called a parliament?
A parliament of owls. That's so cool. I've never heard that before.
It's a great example of how learning about animals can really enrich your vocabulary and make you sound like a pro.
It's like those collective nouns are a secret code for sounding super smart.
Exactly. And there are so many more where that came from, like a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance, and a group of larks is called an exaltation.
An exaltation of larks. That's beautiful. It's like poetry.
It is. And the more you learn about animals, the more you realize just how much beauty and wonder there is in the natural world.
And the more you'll be able to express that wonder in English.
Precisely. So what do you think? Are we ready to tackle some of these exercises and see what we can come up with?
I'm game. Let's unleash our inner animal enthusiasts. As we're wrapping up this deep dive, I can't help but think about all the amazing things we've learned about animals and how much fun it's been to explore this topic through the lens of English.
It's true. It's been such an enriching experience, and it really highlights how language learning can be so much more than just memorizing words and grammar rules.
It's like it's a gateway to a whole new world of knowledge and understanding.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes learning about animals so engaging. It sparks that natural curiosity that we all have.
Speaking of sparking curiosity, remember that suggestion from the guide about watching nature documentaries?
Oh, yeah, those are fantastic. Shows like Planet Earth are a visual feast, and they're also narrated in such clear and captivating English.
I love how they manage to explain those complex scientific concepts in a way that's both informative and entertaining.
Right. You can pick up so much vocabulary just by listening to the narration and paying attention to how they describe animal behaviors, adaptations, and ecosystems.
And it's not just documentaries either. There are tons of great books, articles, and websites dedicated to the animal world.
Definitely. And don't underestimate the power of simply observing animals in their natural habitats.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. Whether it's your own backyard, a local park, or even a zoo, there's always something new to discover.
And those observations can provide you with so much material for conversations and stories. You can tell your friends about that funny squirrel you saw, or that time you spotted a rare bird.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today, from vocabulary and grammar to practice exercises and real-world applications. But if you had to sum it all up, what would be your top tips for someone who wants to start using animal English in their daily life?
Well, first and foremost, I'd say don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone does. It's part of the learning process.
It's so true. And the more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
Absolutely. And don't limit yourself to just reading and studying. Try to find opportunities to actually speak English about animals, whether it's with friends, family, or even strangers you meet at the dog park.
And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about expressing yourself and connecting with others who share your passion.
Exactly. And who knows, you might even inspire someone else to start learning about animals and English along the way.
Now, before we sign off, we'd like to leave you with one final thought-provoking question. Considering the diverse ways different cultures view and interact with animals, what does your favorite animal say about you? Take some time to ponder that one. We'd love to hear your reflections.
It's a great question to consider. And with that, we'll wrap up this deep dive into animal English. We hope you've enjoyed the journey and that you feel inspired to keep exploring the fascinating world of animals and language.
Thanks for joining us, and until next time, happy learning.